everybody, this is Travis. I'd like to welcome you back to Razor Garage, or if you're new here, we'll just welcome you to Razor Garage. Now today we're going to be changing a rear wheel bearing on this 2016 Razor S900. There's about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little less, of movement in that wheel. Now there's not a lot of movement in there, but if you go out for one more ride with that wheel bearing, by the time you get back to your truck or your camp or wherever you're at, that bearing's going to be bad. I mean bad. So you know, after every ride, well, if you just put a brand new one in, you really don't have to check it right away, because brand new bearing's not going to go bad on your first ride. But once you get a couple miles on them, you know, every time you get back home, go over it, check your bearings, check your tie rod ends, check everything that you can, so you can prevent a breakdown out on the trail somewhere and having to walk back to the truck. That ain't no fun. I've already changed the other side. It was really bad. There was a lot of movement. It wasn't not falling apart bad, but you don't want to let it get falling apart bad, because that just causes a lot of other damage, and that's more money that you have to spend. So we're going to get this wheel off and get down into it. Now, first thing you're going to want to do is take this cotter pin out. Well, that one, the end of it broke off, as sometimes they will. So we're going to have to pull it out the other way. Now your axle nut is most likely metric, but I don't have metric sockets that big, as most people probably don't. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But we got a 1 inch and 1/16, and that fits good. Now these are very tight, so we have impact wrench, and we're going to impact it right off there. Make sure that you're in reverse. Now there's 2 thrust washers inside here. Make sure you take them out and you lay them so you know which way they go in. The cupped part, they're cupped like this. I'm exaggerating. That goes in. I usually pull it off just like it comes off, and I'll set it on top of the nut over on the side. There's 2 of them there. Then you want to take the bolts out that hold your caliper on. Those are 15mm. You could probably get a socket. I don't know, let's see if we can. I didn't try these with a socket. Nope. See, there's no room to get your ratchet in there. It's nice to have these ratchet end wrenches for working on just about everything. Like I said, these are 15mm. One here, one down here. hang the caliper off to the side. It's not a heavy caliper, so you can leave it hang on that brake line. It's not going to hurt it. That's not heavy. Now your hub should come right out of here, just like that. If it doesn't, you might have to tap on it with a rubber mallet or a recoilless hammer or something like that. Now this top bolt, these are 15 millimeter on both sides. Yep, we want to loosen it. We'll just leave the bolt in till we get the bottom one loose. This bottom one is 18 millimeter, both sides. I forgot to take the washer off the top. Put it with the bolt. Now we can pull these bolts out, pull our top control arm off, and take that right off there. Then we bring our assembly here over to the bench. And you want to spray a little wet dog 40 on it, or 40 wet dogs, whatever you want to look at it. Spray a little on there. Hit that with a wire brush a little bit, get some of that out of there because there's a big snap ring in here. And we take big snap ring pliers. Take that out, and we'll try to clean some of the dirt out of that snap ring groove. Now we'll just get a little extra extra 40 in there, and we'll put a little bit here in the back. Alright, now here's where we go low tech, old school. If you don't have a hydraulic press, it's okay. You can do these without a hydraulic press. I know there's a lot of other videos, or some other videos, and they show, use a hydraulic press and you push it out. And they are tight, they are pressed in there, but you can get them out. You need a piece of wood. I got a plain old 2x6, and I drilled a hole in, clean through it with a hole saw, because I've done a lot. Damn it! Because I have done a lot of these bearings. Because we have the Razor 800 too, and I've changed those a couple of times all the way around. Just aboard. And you can start out without the hole, because you have like a 1/4 of an inch of movement there before it hits the outside surface. So you want to start just anywhere on your board. I've got a big socket This one's 1 3/4, and this is an old bearing. That's why we're changing it. So it don't matter if we blast the race, you know, the center race clean out of it. It really doesn't matter. I would rather it didn't do that, because then that makes it hard to get out, because there's only 3 little notches around the outside of this in the back to where you can actually put a tool in there and press this out. So if your bearing is so far gone that when you take it out it falls apart, you're going to have a harder time, but you can do it. And like I said, we have an 1 3/4 socket with an extension. Damn it, with an extension, so you can hold that, and you just beat on it. Get yourself a hammer, and we're just going to pound it out of there, and you know, they do come right out. You have to hold it and whack it. That's moved about 1/16 of an inch. Once it starts moving, it'll move. Okay, we're almost to the end of it now. A couple more wax, and then we'll put it over the hole. And that's about as far as we can go on the board, so now we bring it back to the hole. Yeah, but if you really want to take your machine the whole way to your Polaris dealer and pay them $100 an hour to do this, if not more, you know, all shops charge different, feel free. I don't like paying nobody to do nothing I can do for myself. And in real time, up to this point, it's a half an hour. See, we started blowing the bearing apart, but that's okay. It's almost out. There it is. There's the old bearing. There's some bearings, and that's okay, because we can still use this. And I'll show you what that's for when we get to it. Now I'm going to clean this up. Okay, now it's only been a couple of minutes. As you can see in here, I've cleaned this all up. Just use a little bit of 220 sandpaper. Just sand it real lightly, because even though we didn't hit the outside surface in here with anything, there's still going to be scratches. So you just want to knock the top off any of them scratches in there, so your new bearing goes right in. And a little bit of Scotch-Brite. A little bit of Scotch-Brite. Now I just take a little bit of anti-seize, just a little bit on the finger, and just use that little bit and spread that around that whole inside. Now we take our our new bearing, and they fit in just like that. They fit right up to there. And you take, I like to use a brass hammer to get these started. I'll probably have to move this because the camera's going to bounce around on the table. But now is when we don't want to hit this inner bearing surface. We only want to work around the outside. And we work it around like you see me doing. Now we're using brass. Brass is softer than this hardened race. You don't want to hit this now with anything hard. We don't want to damage it. So just work it in real slow with a brass hammer. Now I'm not going to use any video effects on this. This is all going to be real time. You see how quick it actually is without a press. Now we're going to take that old bearing, one that we took out, and we cut it. We cut clean through until we're just left with this outer race. Okay, and you have all your bearing pieces. That's, you know, there's the inner race, the bearings, the race, everything. You want to get that all out of there. So you just have this outer race, and we're going to use this outer race to set this bearing because it's just the right size, and there's no chance that it's going to slip and go through this mechanical seal. We know there's no chance that it's going to slip because it is just the same size. And we hold this. I don't know why the camera just shut off there, so we had to hit the start button again. And I'm actually back to my brass hammer here. For some reason this one's more controllable. The other one I just used the big hammer. And you just work it down till you can get your C-clip, your snap ring groove. There, the bearing's done. No hydraulic press required. And that took 15 minutes. We're into this whole project right now in real time at 45 minutes. And now the reassembly is just the opposite of the taking apart. Only thing is now, instead of the NICs that I put to inside to help the bearing go in, we're going to use some waterproof grease. Now this is Exxon Mobil something lithium compound. Yeah, I can't remember. It doesn't come in a little bottle, but you know, you can buy it in tubes. Or you can use that green grease, whatever it is, that green waterproof stuff that they sell just for this. That's fine too, but this doesn't cost me anything. So that's why I use it. You take the brake caliper and you get all the mud and weeds and grass and everything out of it because you didn't wash it when you went riding the last time. You just clean all that out. Make sure you separate your brake pads. Make sure it slides nice and you put it on. And there you go, everybody. That's how to change your own wheel bearings with no hydraulic press. In real time, all together, from start, when I started taking this wheel off till it's on the ground, tightened up, 1 hour exactly. Now, you're at your local dealership, that would cost you $60 for the bearing, and then at least $100 an hour labor, I imagine. And you know, as you saw, as I was doing it, I was calling out what tools you need. You only need but a handful of tools. And then after you're done, you can tell your niece that you took riding on Monday. You can tell her, joke with her, not be serious. You can tell her then how it was her fault that you had to change wheel bearings in your razor. And this, I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you like what I'm doing. I know I haven't been doing any videos for a while. It's a lot of work to set the camera up and to do the video instead of just doing a job. If I wouldn't have been moving the camera and doing the shots and you know, all that, I probably could have saved 15 minutes. You know, it's not a big deal. It's an easy job. So I figured, you know, I haven't turned the camera on for a while, and my subscribers haven't. I haven't posted video for a while. And we'll see you next time here on Razor Garage. I'm out.